What's up, everybody? This is Podcast Gameoverse episode 163 for Thursday, November 16, 2023. I am Wasabi Ice Cream, joined as always by Rick. What's up?
Yo, what's up, everybody? It's Rick. This episode is brought to you by masturbating in public. So much fun, it should be illegal. Anyway, what do you think of that one? I thought that I was pretty proud of that one.
Yeah, actually, if you go to the Grimsley Park, there's the Grimsley Park hand jobber who give you a hand job for free. If you
there you go.
Yeah, so
Only thing better than masturbating is someone else doing it for you. So there you go.
there you go.
We're on Grimsley Park. Just hit up the Grimsley Park hand jobber. Does he have a business card or like a Twitter? LinkedIn? You contact him?
No, he's still using MySpace, so just hit him up on MySpace. Tell him you'll put him in your top 8, and he'll give you a free hand job.
There you go. We got a lot. We've done not a lot happened this week. We have some pretty interesting discussion topics, and we played some games. So let's start where you always start, man. Tell me what you've been playing.
Gunhead.
Gunhead. What is that?
Gunhead is the latest game from the developers of Cryptark, which I've never played. But
I never heard of it.
Yeah, you never heard of Cryptark? I've heard of Cryptark. I just haven't played it.
I've never heard of it. What is it?
It's a roguelike. Cryptark is like a roguelike. It's a 2D roguelike. So Gunhead, I guess, takes the things that Cryptark did and then does it in 3D.
There you go.
So that's it's from Alien Trap. Basically, you get this mech and you can attach guns to it in a variety of slots. I think you get like 4 weapon slots, and you can use them all at the same time, or swap between them or whatever. But the premise of the game is that you're like raiding derelict spaceships, and you're trying to like destroy them for scrap and then sell the scrap for money. And one of the big emphasis on the games is analyzing the ship that you're about to raid and then scanning its systems. It has a bunch of like different internal systems, like, hey, it's got a alarm system here, and it's got a weapons system here, or it's got a repair system here, and if you don't destroy the repair system first, if you destroy any other system, it'll repair those systems. Or if you don't destroy the alarm system first, then if you destroy something else, it'll send an alarm and something else is under attack, and more enemies will come at you and stuff like that. So one of the core mechanics of the game is like planning out your attack strategy, kind of scanning all the rooms and being like, okay, I'm gonna go hit this system first and it's gonna shut down all this stuff, or I'm gonna hit this system over here because it's blocking the map. So if I kill that system, then it'll reveal the map, and then I can see everything else. Or this one will reveal the enemies. You can see the whole map typically before you even start. So you can it really lets you just plan stuff out and really get into it before you go into attack. And then once you go into attack, it's just this high octane first person shooter. You got a jetpack, you get a bunch of weapons, you get if you run out of ammo for your weapons, you have this like thrust ability. It's like a javelin. You just like launch yourself into the enemy, which is really fun. Cool. And the jetpack is super generous. You're just flying all over the place, and it's just really fun. It's really fun. It keeps you on your toes. It makes you you have to have like full situational awareness, because there's a lot of stuff happening around you at the same time. And then it gives you challenges based on like enter the before you decide to like start attacking the ship, you get a bunch of challenges. It's like, hey, destroy every system or destroy 2 systems within 30 seconds. So the whole game isn't really about just doing the roguelike thing of just going through and doing the level. It is about doing these challenges, doing it as fast and efficiently as possible, and really coming up with a plan of attack to do it as efficiently as possible. And
I
that's I
like that.
think where the fun really comes in, because
That.
you could just do it kind of leisurely and just walk through and kind of just do it at your own pace, but
Yeah.
you get rewarded for doing it, doing all the challenges and stuff. So it's way more fun that way.
I fuck with that. That sounds like fun. Yeah, I can get behind that.
Yeah, I played it during the demo derby, and it was one of the games where I was like, this is fucking great. So
Yeah.
it just came out. It's like $15 on Steam, so it's a good price. It's a lot of fun, and yeah, it's not very complicated. So that's all I gotta say about it. It's pretty good.
I gotta give it a shot. That sounds dope. Like, I can get behind that.
Yeah,
Sounds like a lot of fun. Is that all you played this week?
that is all I played this week.
I have not been playing a lot because I've been super busy with work and stuff, and my brother's in town, so I've been hanging out with him. But when you're a dad, like hanging out with somebody is just like watching your kids together. So I haven't really had time to play anything. I'm playing Diablo IV again. Just it's something that's fun, doesn't take a lot of like investment from me once I got like stuff going. And I can just like jump into it and have a good time with it with what I'm doing now. So that's what I'm doing right now. Playing that. Still fun. This season's been great. I acknowledge it's not for everybody, but it's for me. So that's all that matters.
Yeah.
I'm having fun with it. I'm also playing Pokemon Scarlet just occasionally because some of the new raids are coming up. I just finished the Hisuian Typhlosion raid with my brother. That was fun. There's an Eevee raid coming up tomorrow that I'm gonna check out once that's available. I shouldn't have to breed anything for. I think I got a Pokemon that should be able to take it out pretty easily, but I'll find out tomorrow when it like wrecks my shit because there's something I wasn't expecting. Still fun. Like I know people give Scarlet a lot of shit, and it deserves it. Graphically, the game's terrible. There's not a lot of animation for the Pokemon, despite the fact that like the whole reason they didn't bring a bunch of Pokemon back is to work on like the animation, which sounds like bullshit because it looks copied and pasted from the 3DS games. But it is still a lot of fun to play through. The Terra typing mechanic is super cool. I really like it. It makes a huge difference to the game, gameplay wise, even though none of the fucking gym leaders actually utilize it that well. And the raid battles are super fun. The game's super easy to like EV train and IV breed your Pokemon. So it makes it super easy to like when you hear about a raid coming up to breed a Pokemon specifically to take on that raid. And I'm having a lot of fun with that. I know it doesn't sound like fun to a lot of people, but it's fun to me, god damn it. So fuck you. Um but yeah, that's all I've been playing. Nothing really big, nothing big new to announce. So let's go into the news, some quickies. The Game Awards 2023 nominees just got announced. Do you want to go through all of these, or there's a couple you wanted to hit on?
No, uh, just the big ones, which is the game of the year.
Yeah, that's this is gonna be a lot harder than I thought it was gonna be. Because when I heard Game of the Year, I was like, oh, Tears of the Kingdom, easy. And I remember like, oh, Spider-Man 2 came out this year. So did Baldur's Gate 3, Resident Evil 4, which I
Yeah.
forgot existed because it came out so early in the year. Um,
I feel like Alan Wake 2 is a weird one, not because it's good, not because it's not good, but because it just came out. Just came out.
just came out.
I feel
Yeah,
like there's
it
other
just came
stuff that like just came out that could have been in there, but like Mario Brothers Wonder is great, but yeah, like same thing. It like just came out.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like some of these they kind of just threw in there because I'm not gonna even say that the controversy is that Starfield people wanted Starfield in here, which let me tell you is not
Really?
this is not at
Really?
all
Come
not at
on.
all game of the year. But I would it would make more sense to have that than some of these games that like just came out. Like I understand that Mario Bros. Wonder is an incredible game. Alan Wake 2 I understand is also incredible. I haven't yeah, I need to like play the original ones, but I understand that game is incredible, but there's other games in here that I feel like
Yeah.
have been had a little more of a test of time. You know, they've undergone the honeymoon period is kind of over with them.
Yeah.
So, but this is an incredible selection. I think personally, I think Baldur's Gate is just gonna sweep everything. I
I
think
think
it
Baldur's Gate
is.
has a good chance to sweep everything too. Yeah. Like,
It's just kind of it's incredible in like every category.
yeah.
To where I think it is like it's that game this year.
As much as I hope it's gonna be Baldur's Gate 3, I think the popular vote is probably gonna be either Tears of the Kingdom or like Spider-Man 2, is what I think it's gonna be. I think
Yeah,
out of this whole selection here, it's between like it's stacked. Like Baldur's Gate 3, Resident Evil 4, Tears of the Kingdom would be like my choice. But I think like Spider-Man 2 or Tears of the Kingdom is actually gonna take it home, if I'm being honest. Just because like they're a lot more popular. Like you see them on the internet a lot more.
yeah,
And I think it's gonna sweep a lot of stuff. There's a couple other things to note too. Like I don't want to go over like best narrative, best art direction, but if Hi-Fi Rush doesn't win best art direction, I'd be fucking pissed. Um, best score and music, Hi-Fi Rush better fucking win best score and music, but it's not going to. I feel like it's not going to.
yeah. There's a lot of stuff here where I was like, yeah, that's a good. I didn't play a lot of like looking at these. I'm like, oh man, I didn't play these, man. And the ones I did play, I was kind of like lukewarm on, like not like Baldur's Gate, for example.
Hmm.
I haven't gone back to it yet after my first endeavor with it because I don't know, it's not my kind of game, and it's just a bit of a time sink if I were to get into it. Uh so but like I can recognize the quality that is there.
Yeah,
Um like same thing with Hi-Fi Rush. I haven't gotten into it yet. It is on still on Game Pass.
it is, and it's incredible. Like it seriously is just. It's so good, dude. It's so good.
Some of these like best RPG. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and argue about what an RPG is, but
Which category is best RPG?
best
On Steam.
RPG.
Where is it? Because like they show the categories one at a time. I can't just like
Oh,
view all categories.
yeah.
Fuck, view all categories button. Best RPG. What's in here? Let's see.
Um,
Okay, Baldur's Gate is definitely an RPG.
yeah.
Sea of Stars is definitely an RPG. But I would argue that like Final Fantasy, Lies of P, and Starfield don't lean that hard to the RPG part of the RPG.
This is where like genres get stupid because
Yeah,
genres don't really make sense anymore
yeah,
because everything is everything now. Like everything's technically an RPG now, or it has RPG mechanics. Like if you really want to talk RPG, like Starfield, they try to convince you that it's an RPG, but that game is not a fucking RPG. It is as
it's not.
far from an RPG as you can get.
Like I will argue it's like a space simulator, like loosely.
Yeah, not even.
There's not enough. I wouldn't even know what to categorize it, if I'm being totally
It's
honest.
a first person shooter is what it is. I think it's like at least 90% FPS, and then the rest of it is just a mix of other shit.
Well, no, okay, because like you really need to put like 500 hours into the game to like really get into it, according to like every fucking Starfield defender out there. We're not going to start that argument again, but we already set our piece on that. There's a lot of stuff in here that I just really don't care about. Best adaptation. All right, because a bunch of shit came out. So what defines an adaptation? Is it just something recognizing an outstanding creative work that faithfully and authentically adapts a video game to another entertainment medium? Okay, so Twisted Metal, Super Mario Movie, and Nocturne
I don't
are
even
not
understand.
adaptations.
I don't even understand how Twisted Metal is in this list, because
Yeah,
from
same
what I
with Gran
understand,
Turismo. It's not an adaptation of the games. Like it's a story about like it's like a biopic about like a dude who was really good at Gran Turismo and used that to get into actual Gran Turismo racing. Like that's the only. It's not adapting the game at all. Like it's a story about the game, but it's not adapting a game. Like what the fuck is this?
yeah. So, and Twisted Metal is dog shit from anyone who I've heard talk about it. So,
I've heard it's fun.
Including
like
David
really
Jaffe.
Fun. I heard it's like really
you
fun.
heard it's fun? I heard it was absolute dog shit, but
yeah.
Okay.
I never grew up with Twisted Metal though, so that's probably why. But does Twisted Metal really have like a lore, like a really deep lore? Does it really?
It does.
Are you a big Twisted Metal fan?
I'm not a big Twisted Metal. The only one I've played was Twisted Metal Black, and that is the one that has the lore. That game is fucking incredible.
Yeah?
Yeah. Like every character has their own story. It makes you play that game fucking 20 times because every character has a thing, has like a story.
Have you watched it yet, or?
I haven't watched it. I heard it was dog shit, but that's the only reason why. I mean, I haven't watched any. The only thing I've seen here is The Last of Us and Super Mario. So,
which again, like, don't really. A Super Mario Brothers movie doesn't really adapt the games. Like, not really. It adapts like concepts of the games, but like,
yeah,
you're not watching it to like get an authentic like representation of the video games, right? Like.
Yeah, I guess, but it's that movie and it's that like it's that game in it's that universe in movie form. You know? So,
it's not like adapting a game. Like and that's what I get annoyed with when it says adaptations, because it's like,
well, I think the wording is a little...
Nocturne doesn't adapt Rondo of Blood. At least that first season doesn't so far. But it's okay because it's fucking good. Like, same with like the first season of Castlevania, the first series. It doesn't really adapt Castlevania 3 like 1-to-1, but it's still really fucking good because the stuff it doesn't adapt or the stuff it includes are like really good. But again, like Twisted Metal isn't like a 1-to-1 adaptation of the games. And neither is the Mario Brothers movie. Gran Turismo isn't even an adaptation of the games at all. It's like, again, it's a story about like a dude who was really good at the games and used that to like actual join real Gran Turismo racing.
Yeah, it's the last Starfighter.
They reference the games in the fucking trailer. Like, it's in the trailer. Like, they fucking reference it. Like, so it's weird to me that it's not an adaptation. Like,
yeah, I mean, I think you're getting hung up on the wording that they're using here.
Because fucking words mean something. God damn it! Like. What kind of society do we live in where words don't mean anything?
Was Cyberpunk not this year? Or what about even...
I think it was in Best Narrative.
What about that Ubisoft one? Oh, I'm talking about the anime, though.
Oh, Edge Runners came out last year, I think.
Did it? Okay.
Like, right at the end of last year. Let me double check, actually.
Or even that, like, Ubisoft one.
Yeah, Edge Runners came out, like, September of last year. And Captain Laserhawk, I think, came out... When did that come out? Hold up.
The Last of Us doesn't feel like it was this year, but I guess it was.
October 19th. So Captain Laserhawk came out in, like, October. Which, like, again, I wouldn't put on this list. It's not adapting the games. It's its own thing.
Yeah, like, but it's based on...
Very, 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 very loosely. It's like, you know, when you were a kid and you used to play with like toys and you had like action figures from like different like franchises and you made them like play together. Imagine that, but like Quentin Tarantino doing it.
Yeah, I got
And like
my
that's
Macho Man and I got my GI Joe.
exactly. And have you watched Laserhawk yet?
No,
You fucking should. Why didn't you watch Laserhawk?
I
I
haven't watched
thought for sure
anything.
like Jade and like that pig guy being in it, I think would have like been enough to sell you on it, but I guess not.
Well, when you told me they're not significant, I'm like, okay, well.
I mean, they're not insignificant, but it's not like it's not a. What I said was, it's not a Beyond and Good and Evil show. Don't go
Yeah,
into this expecting a Beyond and Good and Evil show. Like
yeah,
they're maybe players in the plot, but it's not like a show about Beyond Good and Evil. The same way it's not a Far Cry show, or it's not like a The Crew show or a Rayman show. It is like its own thing, but it's still fucking cool. Like I liked it.
yeah. I gotta watch that. That should be in this list though. Like over Twisted Metal, over Gran Turismo.
Yeah.
But
If we're putting Gran Turismo on this list, Captain Laserhawk should be on this list too.
but
But
yeah.
whatever.
Hamtaro says in the chat, he said the people got to push Baldur's Gate 3 to ensure it's solidified as the gaming standard that greedy, shitty companies don't want it to be. I think yes and no. The problem with Baldur's Gate is that that game was in early access for like several years before it came out.
Yeah.
You could buy that
Yeah.
game before, to like way before it came out.
Yeah, I
And
remember the trailer for it being dropped at the Game Awards a couple years back. Remember?
yeah.
I remember it got announced. The trailer came out for it. It was like now in early access.
So I don't think you really want. I don't think you really want. Let's, for example, EA to put out like an early access Mass Effect for like 6 years, and you can buy it and play it for 6 years before it's actually out. Like I don't know if you want that.
Like that's the expectation we want to set. Yeah.
But you know, because that's what they had to do in order to fund and finish that game. Which
Yeah. There's got to be a middle ground though between like having it sit in early access for like years and people playing an unfinished game.
well, the middle ground is if you're EA, you can just fund the game and then put it out when it's ready.
Yeah.
You know, like Larian didn't really have that luxury because you know
Yeah.
they're not working with as much money as these guys are. You know, but EA can just say, "Hey, put the game when it's out. No microtransactions, no pre-order bullshit. You know, none of this garbage."
Which
But
they totally could do, but the fact that they haven't like is really annoying. But
Yeah.
I mean, it's their bullshit's starting to backfire. So hopefully we'll see that like start to clear up. But people are really quick to forget, like fuck EA, the same way they were really quick to forget fuck Konami.
yeah, but
So
there
we'll
was
see.
also a fuck Capcom for a while there too. So
Yeah, and it was there till they turned their shit around. Like,
yeah.
and I didn't forget. I don't think I forgot like fucking Street Fighter Cross Tekken, and it's like on this DLC. I didn't forget that shit. I never forget.
So yeah, Game Awards. I'm just gonna watch it. I don't care about these awards at all.
Me neither.
It's a show where they announce things now, and that's
Yeah.
why you watch.
That's the only reason why I follow it is to see like what's getting announced, and like that's it.
Yeah. So that is next month, December 7th. So
Yeah, so go check it out when it drops.
excited to see
Is it
some
gonna-
Death Stranding news.
which
Well, Kojima to come out and just do some crazy shit.
I want to see some shit too. Just like, oh, Death Stranding is gonna be on iPhone now.
That'd be insane. Dude, Death
That
Stranding
sounds like
VR.
some Kojima shit though. Like that absolutely sounds like some Kojima shit.
Yeah.
Like here's unironically Death Stranding running on like iPhone 15, and it's like, and we're gonna put a lot more effort into it than you expect us to.
Well, they're bringing a lot of shit to iPhone though. It's
They
kind
are,
of
yeah.
it's exciting to see it being taken seriously as an actual gaming platform. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm curious to see how that pans out in the future.
Yeah, I'm curious to see where that goes too. Um, Also, Steam Deck OLED got announced, so that's a thing because everybody needs an OLED model now.
Yeah, that is launching today. Right now, maybe. No, not yet. 11 Mountain
I
Time.
didn't I didn't really see a lot on this article. Is it going to cost as much as like a regular Steam Deck or
Same price
okay? So
for
sorry everybody that got a
the
Steam Deck before this got announced.
the middle model and the top tier model are just they're getting upgraded to OLED, but also a few more upgrades even after like the screen is bigger, the battery's bigger, the Wi-Fi, they're upgrading the Wi-Fi to Wi-Fi 6E.
Oh yeah.
So just a lot of small upgrade. I think it's like faster RAM. So it's not like a significant upgrade in terms of performance, though you will see a slight performance increase just as a side effect of them making these slight incremental upgrades. But this thing launches in like 45 minutes. It goes live. So
There you go.
keep your finger on the trigger if you're trying to get one. Because they said they'll have like enough in stock and they're not gonna they have measures in place to prevent bots from buying them all. So we'll see. But it's exciting, man. People love it. So
Yeah, that's good for them. Like I'm still like on the fence of like what like portable like gaming device I want to get. It's between the Steam Deck. I know Asus has the ROG Ally, I think.
yeah.
It looks really good. So there's a lot of options out there. I'm just like debating on which option I want to go with.
Yeah, I would say wait for the next
Yeah.
generation of these things. That's where it's
Yeah.
really gonna like these ones are cool, but I feel like the next ones are gonna be the ones where it's like, yeah, this is a fucking PS5 in your pocket.
Yeah, especially now that like the competition's starting to get there.
Yeah,
So I feel like we're gonna see some cool shit. Hopefully. So we'll see when those come out. And some other quickies, because we haven't talked about Grim Dawn in a minute.
yeah,
Grim Dawn's version 1.2 is launching today. I didn't even know this was happening.
yes,
They are significantly changing the game, it looks like.
yeah. This is a huge update. Huge update.
Huge update.
This is not even the one that they announced like not like a couple months ago. This is just a huge update before the huge update. Uh, and they're just adding and changing and
Yeah, so
just
much stuff. Just the
tweaking a
class stuff
bunch.
alone is just like insane.
Yeah,
From what it looks like, they're trying to what it looks like here, from what I'm reading here, is they're trying to make a lot of the power scaling, and people aren't gonna like what I'm gonna say here, but hear me out. It sounds like the power scaling, at least the class changes, is trying to more match like with Diablo, where trying to see more immediate, like huge like impacts.
yeah,
Because there's things like Nightblade, for example. Amaras's Blade Burst, which is like an AoE attack, increases animation by 20% and significantly increased cold damage scaling with rank. Meaning that like it's doing a lot more damage with each, and it scales higher with each time you level it up. Same with Amarasa's Quick Cut with the Nightblade class. Like it increased base damage percentage by 10%, scaling with weapon damage. So it seems like everything's getting a little bit stronger, a little bit faster, hits a little bit harder, more potential for cool effects. And it seems like that's what it's trying to lean towards now, which is cool with me. Cause like it takes a minute for without mods, it takes a minute for that game to like really start to feel good.
Yeah.
But if they're gonna make stuff more immediate, you know, make those effects more immediate to notice, like that's cool with me, man. I fucks with that.
Yeah. Just there's a lot of I haven't really gotten too into Grim Dawn. I was playing it for a little bit, like last month. I was playing it a lot. So it's just a fun fucking game, man. And yeah, it sounds like they're just making a lot of changes to make it more faster, more fun, more like they're increasing drop rates.
They're increasing drop rates. Now mutators, which are like there's dungeons you can run through that have like certain like modifications to them. And a lot of them have like negative aspects. They took out all the negative aspects of those mutators now. They're just trying to make it like it's like I said, they're trying to make it like faster, more frantic, funner. Um, is there anything about mob density in here? No, nothing. Trying to find something.
Yeah.
They're trying to change like how monsters work. Um, yeah, there's a whole fucking bunch of stuff here that's being changed, man. And I'm cool with it. Like I'm cool with it. I'm 110% cool with this. Like a lot of the stuff they're changing is like for the better, just to make the game funner and less grindy or feels less grindy to play through. Like I'm cool with it. Like Grim
Yeah.
Dawn is the kind of game that's like this game's been around forever, dude, and I'm glad it's still
Yeah,
getting like updates and stuff.
I love when games get continued significant updates like this, man,
Yeah,
because
same.
it just bolsters that game's longevity. There's a ton of Diablo like games that have come out around the window when like Grim Dawn came out, or even like after Grim Dawn came out, that still don't get the level of support that this is getting.
Yeah,
So
Grim Dawn came out February of 2016, dude.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it's been out
crazy.
for a minute. Yeah, it's been out for a minute, and it's starting to get more updates, more changes, more tweaks. I'm cool with it, man. That's the kind of game that keeps on giving. Like I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
And the same developer, I think they're working on the Titan Quest sequel, right? Or am I making that up?
Are
No, I'm
they?
making that up. No,
Okay.
so I got confused because a lot of the members of this team here worked on the first Titan Quest. And I think Titan Quest 2 is still owned by THQ. Yeah. So that sequel is being done by THQ. But no, if you liked Grim Dawn, like apparently Titan Quest has like just as many updates, which are more because the game's been out like forever. And it just got like I think got like a new expansion like a little while ago. And the Titan Quest engine was used for Grim Dawn, so you know, something you might be into if you want to try it.
Yeah. So many.
And discussion
There's so many good Diablo games coming out, man. That
yeah, there are.
made me feasting good.
Yeah, dude. If you're into these types of games, which like I am, this is something you got to look forward to. Um, and discussion topic. I remembered what my topic was.
Oh shit.
It's this. I remembered it was this, but
Was it
sub level of
this?
this.
Oh
It's a
okay.
sub level of this. So romance options in video games. There's a topic about it I specifically wanted to go into, but yeah, romance options in video games is a very divisive topic, especially when you look at I don't know what direction you want to go with it, but there's a lot of things you could use to complain about it or praise it. The biggest issue I have with romance options in games is it kind of plays up romance options as like a reward, right? Like you take the time to like play the game, get to the end of the game, romance this character, and you get rewarded with a sex scene,
Well,
which
okay.
is
No, go on.
which is
I
which is
wasn't.
like yeah, which is like not indicative of like romance at all in real life, you know? everyone's different. You know, some people like, you know, I'm just gonna say it, come out and say it. Some people fuck on the first date, for example, right? It doesn't mean anything. Some people don't hold up sex to a pedestal like we do in video games. You know, there are some people that like have sex on the first date, and there are some people who, for example, like don't put out until it's with someone they really know or care about. Some people, you know, everyone's different on their scale of like sexual activity. And I wish more games like represented that. You know, there are some characters that like, you know, will have sex with you on the first date or the first interaction with them. Or some characters that like just aren't into you. I would love to see that, for example. You know, some people just. So I was thinking in my brain, you know, to completely revamp how romance works, and the idea that your character can look any way, but it's what they do is what's going to get people to care about them and open up these romance dialogues is kind of bullshit to me. You know, like some girls, for example, like facial hair. So maybe like if your character and the character customization has facial hair, it might make that romance option easier to open into or open up some unique dialogue. You know, I would love to see stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it's this cookie cutter, like do the thing, say the right dialogue options, character is gonna have sex with you at the end of the game. Which is like, I think, kind of a misrepresentation of how this stuff actually works in real life. Again, the stuff I'm talking about is going to be so hard to program and talk about, but I would love to see something like that, for example. Or, you know, some characters maybe just don't like a lot of what you do or what you say. So it could be, you know, what you say to them might influence the romance option. What you do outside of that, you know, the actions you take in the game probably might turn some people off, for example. Like, I would love to see more of that.
Yeah.
Give me some more complicated romance options because romance isn't simple. It's not this cookie cutter thing for
Yeah.
everybody.
This actually wasn't the angle that I was thinking about, but it is. This is a good angle though, because there
Yeah,
are games that are like, for example, Bethesda games are really bad at this because they they care about, oh man, this is gonna sound bad, but they care about inclusivity too much to
yeah.
where every character in the game is gay and straight,
Which I
regardless.
hate. I
So
hate that. I hate
yeah,
that because this is one thing I love about Cyberpunk. Right? Is Judy is like the poster like romance character. She's in all the promotional material. People love Judy, but she is exclusive to female characters. She's gay in the game.
see, I
She's
didn't know
not
that.
bi. She is gay. So if you are a male character or a female character with male genitalia, she's not into it.
I didn't know that. That's great.
Yeah. I love that. I love that because make a character who's straight, make a character who's gay, make a character who's bi. That's fine, but have them stick to that.
Yeah,
Don't let me romance like don't let me romance like anybody whenever I want because that's not realistic. That's not how the world works. And a lot of characters get written as like a gay character, but when you go to romance them as a male character, they give you the romance option anyway. And that's kind of problematic because I know it's not supposed to be saying this. It's just a game. So before you say that, I acknowledge it's the game, but that kind of alludes to the fact that maybe you can make a gay person straight if you're like cool enough or you say the right thing to them, which is like not cool at all to like
yeah,
acknowledge. And I hate that. Again, romance is something that's more complicated than that. And I would love to see a game like nail that. It's never going to happen because that's not how games work. You know, you have to work towards something and it rewards you for it. And I would love to see more games do that. Again, like have some, not just gay or straight, but like certain preferences, like the facial hair thing I gave you. Maybe you can like date this person if you don't have facial hair, but maybe it's a little bit more difficult for you, to
yeah.
do so.
And Baldur's Gate is a good example because I mean, there's racist characters in the, like, from the beginning. You run into a character who's like, she's a Yankee, she's how they're savages, and you're like, god damn, you're fucking like, relax. But it is
Yeah,
like that thing, like there should be like, maybe someone's not into, maybe someone's not into the Asians or something, if you made like an Asian character, or shit like that. This isn't even the angle that I was thinking of. What triggered this for me was I was playing Starfield, and there's a scene. When you there's a scene in the main quest where this is gonna be a spoiler for anyone who's not, but
Okay, I'm gonna
it's
finish that
it's
game.
not even fucking yeah. Whoever you're like, whoever the game thinks you're closest to, they kill
Okay.
or they try to kill. You can like save them if you want, but they make like a, oh no, X is in trouble, and X ends up being whatever the character is that it thinks you're closest to. So like whoever you've gone on the most missions with, or whoever you've had in your party for the longest, they think that you care about that person, so they try to
Yeah.
kill them. For me, I was only using, I didn't care about anyone in that fucking game. So
Yeah.
when they tried to pull the string of, oh no, fucking this guy's gonna die, I'm like, okay, like I don't I'm like I don't care. It was like for me, like romance options in video games, I just never care about them because they are always this like gamified thing of, yeah, you want to see my boobies? Yeah, look at that. Or
Yeah, exactly. It's like a reward for playing the game. Like, and even
yeah,
like with Mass Effect, for example, which is like one of the games I love, and you can like build up these relationships with characters. How you get there is so like cookie cutter and like gamey because you don't have to bring the characters on any missions with you. Like I could bench Liara the entire game, but as long as I have the right conversation with her after every mission, it's fine. Like she wants to fuck my brains out at the end of the game.
yeah,
And it's super weird to me to like to see that because they make it sound like, oh, we love each other, but we talked for a combined total of maybe an hour because I'm just like speed running all these like dialogue options now.
yeah.
And I would love to see more subtle stuff, throughout these games. Like,
So there
sure, have it start
was,
with the conversation, but open up like options to actually like take people out or something or get them gifts or remember stuff about them. And there's a lot of things that go into like romance in real life. I would love to see games adapt like half of that.
yeah, there was another one that made me think about this, which was I was watching some old Giant Bomb podcasts. They have like a 24/7 stream on Twitch that just plays random Giant Bomb content, and this one just happened to be like an old podcast where they were talking about Stardew Valley, and someone brought up, I've been playing Stardew Valley, and one of the other podcasters was like, oh, who'd you marry? Like that was like their first question. It was like, who'd you marry? And then they had an answer. Oh, Susan. And I was like, wait, what? Like, why is that? Why is that the first question when someone says like I've been playing Stardew Valley? But like in that game, yeah, it's like you can marry like everyone in that game, and they all have different preferences and likes and dislikes. But it's always like it's nothing. I think in that game is more silly than serious at times, but everyone has like their likes and dislikes, and you can give someone like a rock and they're like, oh, I love it because they just happen to like rocks, shit like that. But I don't know, like if I played a little bit of Stardew Valley, but the last thing that I would wanted to do in that game was like romance any of the characters.
And
So
that's what I mean. Like I want to see games that like really take that to the next level. And not just that, but like you could have like random idea. Anyone who wants to steal this idea for your game, go for it. Have random like different. If you have to go by a point system, have a different point system for things like sex appeal and for like actual like romantic like feelings. Because you could like love someone
yeah.
without wanting to fuck them, or you can want to fuck someone
But
without actually
but
loving
no,
them.
well, here's the thing though. What I'm getting at with this,
Yeah,
the whole thing I'm getting at
yeah.
is, and I want some input. I want some input from the listeners and the viewers and the chatters and shit. I want some input from everyone on this, which is, do you care about romance options in video games? Is the ultimate question. Is, do you care? Because even if they did have a very robust system for this shit, I don't care. That's the thing. I just don't care. It's never something I'm going to engage in any game, no matter how robust it is. I'm never going to care about a fictional relationship with a fictional character in this video game that I'm playing, unless it has, for example, if I'm playing a game like Final Fantasy or something, and uh and my healer is like a very useful character, and my healer dies, that's something I have more of a connection with. Like, oh fuck, that's my healer. They've been with me since the beginning, man, and I lost my fucking healer. What are we gonna do? Now we're in trouble. Is like I have so much more of a connection when that kind of shit happens than, oh no, my wife died in this video game. You know what I'm saying? Like it has to be, for me, there has to be like a gameplay connection.
I'm glad you bring that up, because one game that does that pretty well, at least I think it does to an extent, is Persona. Because the Persona games has a social link system, and you can hang out with people outside of the main game and build up that social link. So because the game takes place over like a certain calendar date, right? It's up to you how you want to spend your days. And so you could like ask your buddies to hang out, you can go to work, you can go to school, study for exams, read a book. So it makes you kind of put in the work, you know. If you want to have this friendship with somebody, you have to invite them out, see what they want to do personally. It unlocks like separate side quests and dialogue options for them. But when you level up the social link, it unlocks abilities for the character. And I fucking love that. That's focused behind like actually interacting with them. Like a great example, it's not a big deal in Persona 5, but Persona 4, the games are very punishing. Less so on 5, but more so in 4, which is the example I want to use. If your party member, if your party dies, it's not a big deal. But if the main character gets knocked out or fainted, the game's over. Like you don't get a chance to control the other characters to bring them back. Like that's it. Start over. In Persona 4, if you get to a certain social link, your characters will unlock an ability where if you're about to get hit by an attack that would kill you, your party members will like shove you out of the way and take the hit for you.
Yeah.
And that is so fucking cool, because it gamifies it by rewarding you with an ability that's useful in the game, but it also like narratively it shows you the connection you're having with these characters. Because now they just go from like a party member to like your friend. And jumping in front of a hit like that is something a friend's gonna do for you. And you have to get to a certain friendship level to do it. I love that.
Yeah. Yeah. Persona is a great example.
Yeah. And again, like it gives you like, you have to put in the work to do it, right? Like you have to call the character up, make time in the day to hang out with them. And in the earlier Persona games, you could fuck it up by saying the wrong thing. If you take the wrong dialogue option, you could fuck it up and set your social link back or like completely eliminate it in the earlier games.
Yeah.
So stuff like that I would love to see more of. Like let me put in the work. Don't let me just like do the Mass Effect thing where I'm like, oh, I'm gonna just say the right dialogue options and then they just want to jump my bones afterward.
Yeah. Or just not even just like typical like relationship type shit where it's like, oh, you're my girlfriend now, or like we're married now. Just even like you can have like a genuine bond with characters, like XCOM, like in the XCOM games, where it is like if any of these characters die, they're dead for good. So if you do have like a squad that you've been rolling with heavy since like the beginning of the campaign, and you've managed to like take them through some battle, like you've seen some shit together, man. You guys have like, you know, that's your squad right there. If anyone dies, you have like a genuine connection to that team.
Yeah.
And like that's something I don't really get from just the arbitrary type fucking like Fallout type shit where it's like, hey man, can we talk for a second? Hey, we've been traveling. I feel like we're like best buds, bro. And I just want to let you know, I've never told anyone this before, but you really saved my life back there. And it's like, dude, we're like, there's raiders like right in front of us. Can we chill out for a second? Like,
I see what you mean. And that's the difference between like a video game reason to care and like a narrative reason to care. It's the game like telling you should care about this
yeah,
versus like you naturally developing care through gameplay.
yeah,
And again, Persona like does that super well because it's like, yo, my healer is really cool or my DPS guy is really cool. I want to do their social links so I can unlock more of their skills and make them more useful in combat.
yeah,
So you get it on both sides. You get a narrative reason to care for them when they tell you about like their life, their upbringing, and the things that they're dealing with. And then you get like a gameplay reason to care for them by making them stronger or more effective in combat. And that's so fucking cool. Like I love when games do stuff like that instead of just the regular like, oh, pick the right options. You get a sex scene at the end of the game, or you get a character telling you in the credits like how much you mean to them.
yeah,
Like, and not just romance, but any genuine like relationships in games are something that's so hard to like to get right. And again, I could talk about the gamified stuff of it like all day, but
yeah. It's just the thing is, it works on people. People enjoy that
yeah,
stuff. People, when I heard Greg Miller from Kind of Funny Games was talking about his experience with Starfield, I was like, he's having the perfect intended Starfield experience, which is you fall in love with one of these characters, they die, and then you do the new game plus over and over again to try to fix it. But he kept fucking it up every time he new game plus. It was like he was stuck in like a Groundhog Day type loop where he kept fucking it up. And I was like, this is the intended perfect experience that he's having that I would never have because I don't give a fuck about any of these characters.
yeah,
And like, that's what, like, that was one thing that clicked for me. It was just like, people actually care about this stuff. And like, these games are like doing a great thing for those people. But for me, it does nothing.
yeah, and that's something that like I'm surprised hasn't really evolved yet, especially with like how much we're trying to get things like more realistic. You know, you have a game like Red Dead Redemption 2 come out, and it's like, oh, like horse balls, like realistically, like drop and shrivel with like the fucking temperature, but we can't get a fucking relationship like system like down correctly.
Yeah.
Um, and again, I could see why, like you said, like because the way it's done right now works for people. Like it's like you know, you say the right thing, do the right thing, and then you get a sex scene at the end of the game or something, or the characters tell you like, "Oh, you mean a lot to me," when you. And that's the thing I hate about Mass Effect. As much as I love the Mass Effect games, because the characters do put a lot of work into like, you know, their own personal stuff. You see their own like, you know, their own desires and weaknesses, and then for the game to just the fact that I could just bench Liara for the entire game and just talk to her for a couple minutes after each mission, and that be enough for her to like tell me she loves me and like create
Yeah.
this like this romantic relationship is like insane to me. And is it perfect? No, I'm not going to sit here and say it's not. Is it the worst thing in the world? No, it's not that either. But it is very frustrating to see like how good it could be, and we're just not seeing that here. Um, Again, I know programming something like that the way how I want it to work. You know, where it actually impacts gameplay and characters react like somewhat realistically. If we don't take them on missions, you know, I want characters to bring up like, "Hey, how can we never take me on missions with you?" Like,
Yeah.
and then that could open up a dialogue option too. Like, you know, depending on the character, you can tell them, "I don't want you to get hurt." And you know, some characters might like be okay with that. Some characters might get offended. Like, "Fuck you." I'm like, I'm competent,
Yeah.
you know, and then have that like that's what I want to see. I want to see something that's like different for every character that impacts gameplay, maybe unlocks more abilities. Mass Effect 3 does that to an extent because you can build up every character's loyalty separately, and once you do their loyalty mission, that character unlocks new abilities. But again, it's still kind of gamified with the way it's done. It's just say the right thing, do the right at the right time, and you unlock this loyalty mission. So I want to see games do something like a perfect hybrid of the two, right? You know, something that's like that narratively, like you know, makes sense. You know, you have to say the right thing, do the right thing, but also frequently keep up with that person and maintain their interest. You can't just like ignore them, until the next like scheduled like dialogue option because they're gonna get bored with you if you're not responding to them.
Yeah.
And
Bobby
like
Bobby
unlock,
Bracken's in the chat. Says
what up,
hello.
Bobby?
But I
And
don't know.
have that some gameplay significance too. Like I said,
I'm all about the gameplay significance. It was
yeah,
like the same thing. Like when I was playing Baldur's Gate 3 and I ran into there was a mage character. It was the first. It was they throw all the characters at you pretty much like right in the like beginning of that game. So you get to meet like a diverse cast of characters who have different strengths and weaknesses. And the mage character, the mage guy, was like the most useful guy in the entire that I had met up until that point. To the point where I was like, you cannot die. If anything happens to you, I will be upset because you are extremely useful. You are buffing this entire party. You're keeping us all alive. If you die, everyone else is gonna die before you. So like, but that was like the connection. Like right off the bat, I was like, that's my guy right there. That's my guy.
yeah,
And I never feel that. Contrast that with like Starfield, where every character is just mechanically the same. You know, no one does anything different. No one has any different abilities or anything unique about them other than the way they look and talk and, you know, the things they say. So it's like that's um so like yeah, like Mass Effect, same thing. Like Mass Effect characters they all have different abilities to a certain extent. Like some like ultimately mostly they're just shooting guns and then throwing powers and they might have the same powers. Um but yeah, I don't know. I feel like when it comes to like the romance shit, I just don't care about the romance shit. It's more of like what are your strengths and weaknesses as a companion in my party, and do I fuck with that? And if not, then you know I don't really care. But if you do, then I'm like, yeah, that's my guy. We're bringing you on the team. What do you do? Or you're a tank. We're bringing you on the team. Uh, yeah,
yeah. That's what I want to see too. I want to see more like natural relationships come from like the attachment to the character like as a commodity in your party, and then from there like work it up, right?
yeah, yeah,
You know, and again, Persona's like really good with that because you unlock some of the best abilities from like. So if there's a character you like and you know like, oh, I can unlock abilities by bumping up their social link, there's the incentive there to like, work through it with them. And I want to see more games do that while at the same time keeping a narrative reason because like it hooks you with the mechanics, right? The mechanic reason what hooks you in. The narrative stuff is there, so you follow it along anyway, and you get to know the character like as a character. So it's hitting you on both ends. I would love to see shit like that.
yeah,
Um, and again, let gay characters be gay. Like at the end, I want to finish it off with that. If a character is written as gay, let them be gay. If a character is written as straight, let them be
yeah,
straight.
yeah,
Like don't give me like don't make every character romanceable from every gender just because you don't want like some shitty fanboy to be upset their waifu like won't fuck them. Like I don't want to see that. Again, like Cyberpunk handles that super well. Characters that are straight. Characters that are gay, and they don't branch off of that. And I love seeing that. I wish more games
that's
did that.
great. I need to get back to the Cyberpunk, man.
Yeah, dude. There's characters in there like Panam is she's great. She's only romanceable with a male character with male genitalia. Only option. And same with Carrie Uridine is gay. And he's super cool. But again, he's gay, so a female V is like a no-go for him. And I think it's cool the game like it's hard set on that. That's how these characters are. This is how they're written.
Yeah,
And nothing's gonna change that. And I love that.
that's great.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think
Right.
that's all I had to say about that.
Yeah. Same. Good. 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 Good discussion topic there.
Yeah.
Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League.
Hold on. Bobby Bracken said, "Are you all attempting to buy the new Steam Deck?" Did no, but it's not. You got 8 minutes before it actually launches, so
Yeah.
you got 8 minutes before you can hit the button. So
Yeah.
if you just in case you didn't know that, now you do. If you're still here.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not trying to buy it. I'm trying to wait to see like what else comes out. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's where I'm at. Yeah, we got a new Justice League trailer,
Okay,
which
so
I haven't seen yet.
so
So,
remember they
so,
delayed this game about months ago. This game was supposed to have launched like 6 months ago,
yeah.
and they delayed it significantly. So, with that in mind, this is the first piece of footage they've shown since then. All right,
Yeah.
and can you tell the improvements they've made? I'm actually gonna say, okay, people are very negative about this.
Yeah, with good reason, with all the fucking
I'm
live service
actually
bullshit.
I'm slightly positive on this
Yeah.
because I think this looks okay. I
They
think that
take out the live service bullshit.
no, they did not. But I don't have a problem with that as long as the game is good. I'm fine with it. As long as they've designed the game with that stuff in mind and they've taken the steps they needed to take to make it a good live service experience. I mean, come on, like we're in the like Sony announced that they have 12 live service games in the works. Oh, no, now it's only 6. They've but Sony's like going this the world we live in now, man. Like this is it. But this looks like a good one. This looks like it could be good. They've taken a lot of I think they took the 6 months that they're delaying. I think it was 6 months. They're taking that delay and they're not changing anything about the core idea of this game, but they're adding in more of the what you expect from an Arkham. They call it the Arkham verse in this, which I didn't know. Is that what it's called?
I don't fucking know.
But they're taking what you expect from an Arkham game, and it looks like I think that's what they're putting into this in this delay, is in the combat and the movement abilities, the combat abilities, and I think that's what they're trying to show here, because nothing else has changed. It's still that game, but they're showing more of the combat scenarios, which I think looks like it could be fun.
I mean, I haven't watched the whole video, so
yeah.
But from when I'm like flashing through it, they are emphasizing the story like a lot more
Yeah.
now. So
And the story looks good. The characters look good. The dialogue, it seems like it's written well. They got Samoa
like
Joe.
This looks like Agents of Mayhem.
It looks like Sunset Overdrive with like the movement abilities and stuff like that. It reminded me a lot of Sunset Overdrive, and like maybe a little Agents of Mayhem, but like that's like fun. Like give me like a lot of like fun movement options and let me play around with that stuff. It's a different tone than the dark and gritty. Oh, as soon as I said that, fucking they said it in the trailer here. But yeah, it's just a different tone from those like Batman games, which was supposed to be dark and gritty, but the Suicide Squad shit is more, it's more bright and lively. So they're focusing on like a lot more like colorful movement options and like character expression through movements and abilities and shit. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm optimistic. I'm optimistic about this game because it looks like they're trying to do the Arkham thing, but just in a different vibe,
Which I'm cool with.
Yeah.
Like, I fucks with it. So we'll see when it comes out, man, and we get closer to the release date what the shit looks like. But I'm into it so far.
A lot of people are just
Um,
like, yeah, they gave Captain Boomerang a gun. Let's let him use his fucking boomerang. Or they gave Deadshot, is that his name? Deadshot has guns in his wrist. Just let him use those. Uh, which, you know, is like valid, I guess. But, you know, I want to trust that they're gonna do right by this. You know, they delayed it significantly. I want to believe that this is going to be good because it looks good. It looks like they actually care about this. So
yeah, it looks like this could be fun. So I'm like, let's do it, man. Like, let's do it. Bring it on. We'll see what it looks like when it comes out.
yeah,
Ugh, excuse me, I'm yawning. Next, Shantae Advance Risky Revolution is coming out finally. So, those of you who don't know, the Shantae series started out life as a Game Boy Color game that came out like I think 6 months after the Game Boy Advance released. And Way Forward, which I think we're still called Way Forward at the time, we're working on a sequel to it for the Game Boy Advance that got canceled. And then Shantae came back with the DSiWare games. But we never got that Shantae Advance that they worked on. Until now. It's happening. Here it is. It's coming out now.
yeah.
Which is cool to see. Like, it looks cool, but it looks like a Game Boy Advance Game Boy Advance game. So
Yeah.
I'm worried that's not going to have a lot of the polish the newer Shantae games have, but it still looks cool. Like, Shantae's like a fun series, right? Shantae's a cool character. It's really bouncy, bubbly. The platforming's cool.
I think it looks. I think it looks great.
Yeah.
Like some of the stuff they're showing here, I'm like, I think they're trying to build it with the limitations of the Game Boy Advance in mind, you know, and because I think they are releasing this as a Game Boy Advance cartridge too, so I think that's
if they are. I couldn't tell because the trailer that's in here, when you see the character portraits are like high definition.
the portraits are, yeah, but I think you can do that.
And the portraits and the text. So like 18 seconds in.
I think you can do that on a GBA.
Oh, you cannot.
No,
you cannot. No, you cannot. Look at Chain of Memories.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
Yeah,
yeah, you're right.
the portraits all like pixelate, and so is the text.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's definitely not.
So if this is gonna release on GBA, it's not gonna handle it.
Yeah.
So we'll. It looks. I mean, I love Shantae.
I could have sworn they were doing the GBA version though.
It could be a different version.
Yeah, this might not be that version.
Yeah, if they're doing a GBA version, that's fine with me. Like, go ahead. But yeah, what we're seeing here in the trailer, if this is supposed to be indicative of what we're gonna see in the final game, like, yeah, that character portrait is like not gonna work on it.
The UI assets.
Yeah, exactly.
Those are very HD. So
yeah.
Okay, but still, it looks good. Still looks good.
It looks good. Like, I'm not shitting on it. It looks good. Like, I like Shantae. I never played any of the Shantae games before the DSi games. So, like, I played Risky's Revenge, which was fucking incredible.
Yeah.
And I played what's the newest one they just released? Not Seven Sirens, like the one before that. Half Genie Hero. That one's
Genie,
good.
yeah.
That one's really fucking good. I love Half Genie Hero. I was worried I wasn't gonna like it because they took away the pirate abilities, and now it's just like, oh, you can transform now, and that's kind of annoying.
Yeah.
But no, it works. It works. I think the pirate abilities are way cooler because it's more reactive, but it's still cool. I like what I played through.
I just think they just don't they kickstart all of these games?
What?
The Shantae game, like, aren't they all through Kickstarter? Or at least Half Genie was. I think that could be the reason why. That could be the reason why it was a little less, smaller in scope.
So it's still a big game. Like, Half Genie Hero is still a big game, and it has like fucking 4 campaigns to play through. So,
but it's all through like the same content, but just as like different characters with
Yeah.
different abilities.
Yeah. I think there's like one set of characters that have their own like special thing, but I can't remember. But yeah, that's more or less the case with it. It's still fun though. It's still fun as fuck. Like I still have a blast with it, but
Yeah.
yeah, I don't mind that it's like smaller in scope. And Risky's Revenge was a pretty small game, but it was really tight and felt really good to play through. So, but we'll see when this comes out. I'm gonna check it out at least. I would fucking love me some Shantae, so I'm gonna check it out at least. Now, what's this? inZOI?
Okay, so
inZOI? Yeah, explain this to me, because it looks like fucking
I was
a
scrolling
life
through
simulator.
my YouTube recommended list, and this showed up, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" It says gameplay demo. It's in Korean, so I'm like, "What is this?" And they put it up 3 days ago, so it was new. So I was like, "What the fuck is this?" It's a Sims, basically, but
Yeah.
it's a Korean Sims. So now, if you look at this, hold on, I'm gonna scroll in a little bit because if you look at this, it's very high quality.
Yeah.
Um, I'm like, holy shit, this is actually like this looks incredible. Um, and that's basically it. It's a Korean Sims that looks very high quality. So
You know, The Sims needs competition, so
it does. There's only one other. There's that one other game I think from the I think the City Skyline guys are doing it. Life by You, which is a terrible name. Not that this game has a better name. inZOI. Uh, but yeah, there's that other one called Life by You that looks very similar to this. It's very realistic, and it does like half Sims, half like GTA type shit where you can actually control the character and walk around and do shit. Um, so yeah, The Sims definitely needs competition. So just because people seem unhappy with the state of The Sims
yeah.
and they have no other alternatives, so it's great. This one looks really cool. But it's
Yeah.
one of those. It's another one of those. Remember that other Korean game that they showed at the Game Awards? Like I think it was like a year or two ago. Um, but I don't remember what the
I know
fuck it was
exactly what you're
called.
talking about. Yeah,
But
with
they look
there's
so
like
fake.
kids.
Yeah, it was like the kids. They don't look like real fucking games. Like that's how good they look. It looks so good that they can't be real, and that's how good this looks. Where I'm like, this doesn't look real, but it does look like a video game. But
KV, that's what it's called.
KV,
KV.
yeah. Um, yeah, same thing. Same thing here, where like it looks too good almost, but um, it looks good. It looks good. So I always want them to go too far with it though. I always want them to like do like, okay, you can let me do like all this life shit. What about like the dark side? Kind of like be like a drug addict or kind of like do like,
Like a serial killer.
yeah, can I be a serial killer? Can I?
That would be cool. So imagine like a Sims game, right? You still have to do all the Sims shit, but you're also like a serial killer.
Yeah,
That would actually, I would play that. Someone should make a mod of that for The Sims.
I'm
You
sure
to
that
manage your
probably
day-to-day life.
exists.
Yeah, to manage your day-to-day life while also like your need to kill people.
Yeah, well, that's what that Life by You game is supposed to be. It's supposed to be extremely moddable, so that people can kind of just create their own scenarios and shit like that. So yeah, if you could do that, that'd be really cool. So these games, I would imagine, are extremely difficult to make. So, um, but
God, it
yeah,
looks like there's so many customizations option here, just for like building like rooms and stuff. Like they were putting a chair together, and they were picking like
the feet for
feet
the
for the chair.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, it's crazy. So yeah, so
yeah. So we'll
even
see.
this even gets into some like Sim City shit because they go out into the city and they're like changing the billboard textures and shit and changing the trees in the city, and I'm like, that's crazy.
There's a lot
So
going on here. So
yeah,
way to go, this Korean Deb. Crafton, is that what you are? Crafton, way to
yeah.
go.
So yeah, I just wanted to reveal this to people because they might not
Yeah,
know if you're into The Sims. Yeah, put this on your radar.
it looks good. Um, and some game releases. Not a lot like coming out that I'm really excited for. Flashback 2 looks pretty cool. I never played the first Flashback, but it's like whatever.
Yeah.
Um, Assassin's Creed is coming out for Nexus VR, so
I remember. Do you remember the fake ass? Remember Connect was hot, and they were like teasing like a bunch of Connect shit, and they showed like Assassin's Creed Connect,
oh yeah,
and how stupid that was.
yeah.
Well, it was stupid on
Here it
purpose. It
is.
was like supposed to be like a parody, uh, and it was fucking hilarious. But we get that in real life now. We actually get it, though it's not as dumb as it looked back then.
Yeah, it's
I've
kind of what we're getting here. I mean, we'll see when this comes out, but like,
It looks interesting. It looks well from the small footage,
yeah,
the short amount of footage you're showing here. But like, it makes me want to get a quest.
yeah, it looks interesting. I'll give it that. Um, that's all I'm saying. It's really interesting coming out today. Oh, King of Fighters. What is it? 13? Yeah, King of Fighters 13 is coming out today too.
Yeah, I don't know what that is because that game's already been out, but it's coming to
Yeah,
Switch and
it's like a
PS4.
yeah, it's a remake of it or a
Uh
port of it for modern systems, and it has rollback netcode now.
oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's a thing. I like King of Fighters 13 because like it still used like sprites, but it did like the way forward thing where it had these high definition like sprites. Like I think that's a cool look. So
HD
yeah,
2D.
yeah, I love seeing that. And what else we got? November 17th, we got Bluey the video game. I didn't know this was happening. I
Okay.
fucking love Bluey, by the
What
way.
the fuck is
As a father,
Bluey?
I love Bluey. It's a cartoon. It's fucking funny.
Okay. Yeah, it looks like a toddler's cartoon.
It's definitely a kid's cartoon, but like it's funny because like it's also really funny for the adults too. Like there's a lot of jokes in there that are like really funny for dads and moms. Like
Huh.
it's cool. Just trust me, it's a good show, right? If you can find it, it's funny.
Okay. It looks like it looks like Family Guy. Is this like by that studio or that
No,
team
it's
of
an Australian show.
Australian? Okay.
Yeah, Australian.
Okay. This looks like the animation style is a little similar to like the
Well, I mean, you're
American
watching
Dad.
the game. Like the game has very like
Oh, is it
the
different than
animation's a lot stiffer.
okay.
Like it duplicates it super well, but like it's you can tell it's like not the same thing as like the show.
Yeah. That's a good trailer. Okay.
Yeah, I love Bluey. So seeing this come out, I'm into it.
This game requires a controller in order to play. Playing with a
Yeah,
keyboard and mouse is not supported. So
yeah, I figured.
maybe don't buy that game if you don't have a controller.
We also got for anyone who's into it, Naruto Cross Boruto Ultimate Ninja Storm Connections. Persona 5 Tactica is coming out September 17th or November 17th for
That is
everything, but
a
it's going to
Game
be on Game
Pass.
Pass.
Yeah.
Yep, on Game Pass. So check that out. We got Super Mario RPG coming out.
Heard extremely good things about this.
I've heard good things about it too, so I'm excited to see what that looks
I've
like.
played the SNES version, never finished it, but I
Yeah, I
have
played a little
played
bit
it.
of the SNES version. I never finished it either, so we'll see when this comes out. But I've heard good things so far already. Next is Tiger Blade. It's a PSVR game that doesn't look too impressive. Honestly, it looks like Red Steel. A lot like Red Steel, actually.
Yeah. Wait, is there a trailer on the page?
On the link, but like I had to look up the trailer separately.
Oh,
And it looks like Red Steel, but depending on how you feel about Red Steel, like it could be fun, but like with VR now, we're kind of seeing a bunch of games like this. So
yeah.
I can put up the trailer right now in the stream chat. Hold on. Where is
It's
it?
just when it comes to VR, like after seeing that Assassin's Creed VR thing and how cool that looked, like I just have different expectations for VR. Like Half-Life Alex, like shit like
Yeah.
that. Like I feel like the the tables have turned for VR. The expectations are a lot higher now when it comes to VR shit. I mean, it's okay. It's fine to have like smaller stuff like this, but I think what I'm looking for is a little more expansive, I think. Looks okay.
Yeah, this looks okay, but it's not doing anything like really new from what I've been seeing before. So,
Yeah. Just play super hot in VR.
oh yeah, that'll be cool.
Yeah.
Next we got Walking Dead Destinies. I still don't fucking understand what this is really.
Dude. I saw I was gonna look more into this. I saw the first clip on the Steam page and I was like, "Oh, is this gonna be good?" Because it's like it looks like a video game, you know what I'm saying? Like it looks like an actual game. You know all the other Walking Dead shits we got have just been like not good.
Yeah.
But this actually looks like just from the clips that they have in the page.
Yeah, but it looks so stiff and like it looks like it's gonna be a bitch and a half to play. I like the idea that you can kind of like rewrite like the story a little bit. So
Yeah.
it's like, oh, instead of like Rick killing Shane, it's like the other way around. Or what if like you actually got to save what's his name, Merle, like Daryl's brother?
Yeah.
Like I like that. I like that those ideas. I got something different than just like adapting the game over again.
You can just kill everyone and go solo.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens here. Like I'd love to see like what this turns into. But I doubt the product's gonna be like that good, honestly.
Yeah, I'm dying for this to come out.
Yeah, I'm dying for it to come out too, just to see what it looks like.
Yeah.
Um, November 20th, we in Stars in Time. I don't know anything about this. I just talked about it 'cause
I
it's the only
played
game coming
this.
out that day.
I played
Yeah, is it
this.
good?
It's good. I played this during the
Oh, it's an
demo derby.
RPG. It's like
It's like Earthbound. It's like an Earthbound, but the combat is rock, paper, scissors based.
I like that.
So you have to actually look at the environment. When you're in combat, you look at the environment and certain characters or enemies will have tells like either in their character portrait or somewhere in the environment that they're holding up like a rock or something, or you have to like do something. You have to like cast silence on them and then it'll put them to sleep or something, and then it shows their hand and you can see, oh, they're holding up like a rock, and then that lets you know that it's very cool. It's very cool.
I like that. I might check this out then. It looks cool.
Party Tranimal in the chat says the limited edition Steam Deck OLED broke the Steam checkout.
Damn.
I think the limited edition one, it's like clear. It's like a clear shell. Which
Oh,
why even just buy a normal Steam Deck, and
yeah.
then there's like third party shells that you can get. So, but
Yeah, it's like whatever.
maybe there's other stuff different about it.
Maybe.
But yeah, and Stars in Time, it's on my wish list. It's really cool. So
Cool. That looks cool then. I'll check it out. After that, we got some games coming out November 21st. Velfaris Mechatherium looks pretty cool. Looks like a rail shooter, not a rail shooter. A side scrolling like ship shooter. But that's about it.
oh,
And I've never heard of this game coming out November 22nd. Dyschronia Chronos Alternate. What is this? Oh, it's not a visual novel.
crazy.
It's a okay, so it's a
Oh,
VR first person visual novel.
it's a VR and non VR game.
It's a first person visual novel. It says it's an action adventure first person visual novel.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Solve an impossible murder case in the far flung future.
There's some rhythm shit too. Like, what is this?
This is going on the wish list. That's going on the wish list.
Yeah. Okay, interesting. All right, and that's gonna do it for the show, everybody. Thank you so much.
a lot of people trying to buy that Steam Deck right now.
Yeah, there are.
I'm not gonna partake. I've got my own, but
I don't have one, so I will probably be waiting until something else comes out later.
let's see. Let's just try to like throw it in.
Yeah.
Let's just see. Let's do a little quick test here. Oh, I mean it'll let me.
It'll let you.
I mean
You should buy me one. You should buy me one.
buy you one. I
Yeah.
can't even buy myself one right now.
Just buy it for me. You have a credit card? Get a credit card. No, I'm kidding. Don't do that. I will get one eventually. I'm just debating on between like a Steam Deck or like one of the other like Steam Deck competitors that are out there. Especially now with the Steam Deck OLED coming out, like I'm sure like Asus and some of those other companies are gonna come out with something different. So we'll see.
Yeah, like I said, you're gonna want the next gen of chips to come out. I think
Exactly.
because the first gen, they're good. You know, it was like they were using the 6800, now they're using like the 70 something hundred. But I think the next ones are gonna be the big ones. That's gonna be the one you want. So but that's gonna do it, guys. That's gonna do it. Jump in the Discord. Jump in the Discord. Jump in the Discord. Jump in the Discord. Gameoverse.com/Discord. The link's in the doobly doo. So click the link, hop in the Discord, go to the Discord, hang out with us, chat with us, play games with us, get that new Steam Deck. Just buy like 6 of them, and then and you'll find some way to flip it on some sucker, you know.
There you
go. Yeah, that's gonna do it. Thanks for the people showing up and trying to buy that Steam Deck, even though we have nothing. We're not talking about that at all.
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit.
A little bit. We talked about it a little bit, but
I gotta mix this vinegar with water and like spray down my yard. Apparently,
he's got to spray the piss out his yard. So very productive day today for all of us. All right, that's gonna do it. Thanks.
All right, peace out, everybody.